I have made a huge mistake. See, I was trying to figure out what to do for today's video, and in my depression, anxiety, and OCD-ridden stupor, I found myself suddenly in my local card shop, and lo and behold, a new set had just released. Perfect Order. It had everything going for it. Mega Evolutions was a phenomenal set. Phantasmal Flame had people going gaga, and Ascended Heroes was nothing but fun in a box. So, obviously, Perfect Order would be much of the same, right? Right? Well, I decided to buy myself a box and thought, what a fun game and challenge this would be. What if I turned every hit that we got into a new regional form, Gigantamax, Mega, what have you? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be exciting? Can't you see nothing going wrong with that setup? Well, things did go wrong, and I'm excited to share that with you today. So, greetings, bienvenue, come on in and sit on down as we make new forms for every hit that we pull out of Perfect Order. Let's get started.
Hey, you need to rock it. It's what we do.
So let's hop right on in. I have my booster box of Perfect Order here. It comes with 32, 36, something like that, cards. I like opening these because the hits are almost guaranteed. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, this is gonna suck. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Let's start off in the front here with Mega Starmie. Everyone's favorite. I mean, I just said, oh, people's like least favorite, the one that they hate the most is Mega Zygarde, and then I'm like, let's go with Mega Star U. Mega Star me? Me. It took me a sec. I apologize. There's a code for you guys. I think it's 1? Yeah, let's see what we got here. And on the back, Meowth EX. I think that counts as our first hit. So yeah, we're gonna get to see that guy get a whole new, a Pokemon that desperately doesn't need any new forms. So yeah, with Meowth already having a Cantonian form, you know, the OG, as well as an Alolan and Galarian form with back-to-back regional variants, I was kind of a little bummed hopping into our first hit with a Pokemon that needed no new introduction. But the good thing was that we kind of now have a template for what we're going to work on. Meowth ends up being the perfect example to use, with Alolan Meowth functioning as a slightly different variation on our Cantonian form, and Galarian Meowth kind of showing us what the ceiling on weird could be. We had a nice area to play within, so I decided to use one of my favorite typings, that of course being the Ice type for this Meowth, based on those fluffy Persian cats, but with more association towards Tibetan ones, with those big fluffy pelts and nice round faces. And I know that Meowths do typically have some form of whiskers that make up their whole look, whether that be the Alolan wispy little guys or the straight up beard that Galarian Meowth has. Here, I didn't necessarily want to take from what already made up Meowth, and so instead made these whiskers more of a semblance on the face, giving an allusion to the idea without fully changing or integrating something that changed what the Pokemon was meant to be. So meet Sternian Meowth.
Meowth, the Scratch Cat Pokemon. This breed of Meowth has adapted to colder weather by growing thick fur that is semi-hydrophobic, thus allowing snow to keep from sticking to it. They adore playing in the cold, but will become temperamental if they get too hot.
Now, I know what you're thinking. If I did a regional Meowth, then shouldn't I also do a regional Persian? In a minute! Trust me, we'll be visiting Meowth again much sooner than I'd hoped. You know, Meowth EX, it's not for nothing. We love, what in God's name? Did I do that? Did I do that? I don't know, whatever. Barbarical, maybe that's a sign. Talonflame, Naveen! Talonflame! Oh! Denny! Denny! I have not looked up the prices for any of these guys, but I know that this one, pretty okay. I think it's like $8 or something, maybe a lot less. Yeah, that's a win. That's a hit. Freddy, if you could hold that for me, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I got, it's over here actually.
But no time for that. Let's hop right in with evolving Dedenne. Yes, I said evolving. So far in official Pokemon, we only have one evolving Pika clone, and it's, oh no. Oh god. But this goes, of course, without counting the original Pika, which is Pikachu. Is Pikachu considered a Pika clone or within that same family? I mean, do you consider the original within the same cloning segment of lineage? I don't know, and I'm kind of just including this so that we can get that all covered before the comments get to it. So I decided with only a single lackluster evolving Pika clone, we could try and fix some of those shortcomings with evolving Dedenne. After all, the bar is so low and the real-ins are potentially so high. Dedenne is our smallest Pika clone, and so I figured why not make him just a little bigger. You know, like he's got something to prove. He's based on the Japanese dormouse, but also on hamsters, who do tend to grow in size by eating and stuffing them big old chic pouches. In fact, when hamsters feel threatened and they have a new brood of little babies, they'll actually eat those to have enough energy to run away. They only get one life, but they can have more kids.
But Stern, Morpeko is based on a hamster, so wouldn't Dedenne be more heavily associated to the dormouse to avoid overlapping?
Listen here, buddy, I understand it. Dedenne looks a lot like a mouse, feels a little like a hamster, but take it up with the Japanese because they have said flat out with this Pokemon's design that it was based on a hamster first. Either way, we'll be pulling in more of that antenna vibe by combining the whiskers into something more akin to a satellite antenna than a TV one, and putting that floofy little tail right up over its head like a storm cloud, one that's about to strike and just obliterate your TV's signal. So here's Dandelight.
Dandelight, the antenna Pokemon. These Pokemon puff themselves with treats so as to gain an added size. This does make them larger targets even for their own lightning strikes, however. Thus, this Pokemon becomes a constant cycle of electrical buildup, strike, and output as they recycle so much of their own charge.
Beefy little dude, but it was about at this point that I began to realize that if I'm doing every hit, this may start to become a much longer and more tiring video than I'd initially thought. But all should go well, so long as this set is as sparse as people have claimed. Hi, Stern from the future here. Things are going to get a lot worse before they get any better. Luckily, I got a little bit of a break, being that the next few packs actually weren't Pokemon.
Okay, here we go. Jaw Fossil, Binacle, and... Oh, wow, that looks cool. Wondrous Patch. What is that? What is that meant to be? What are you? It looks cool. I wonder if there's one of these for like every energy or if it's just the psychic one. I do like that a lot. That's very pretty. You're very pretty. Do people tell you that a lot? You're very pretty. Okay, another. Again. Again. Here we go. Jacinthe, and are you kidding me? Oh, there's gonna be so much art for this video.
It was at this moment he knew. He f***ed up.
I mean, at least that's a good one to draw, but oh my gosh, this is gonna be... Oh, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, it was here that I realized something that had not yet occurred to me. You see, there are 36 packs in a typical booster box, and we were well on a trajectory to hit about one every 3 packs. That's usually great news, but in the case of having to draw every single hit and not just the SIRs, this suddenly was beginning to look more like a Herculean task than a typical drawing challenge. I slowly began to hope that I wouldn't get a hit. Each pack I was either excited to get something good or excited that there was nothing in those last 2 slots. Either way, I had to draw out Salazzle as a new form, and with it known for being a female evolution to Salandit, it only felt right that I give this Pokemon a more masculine counterpart. So I went in thinking about how to handle not just the design, but the story of this Pokemon. I landed on the idea of a bodyguard instead of a partner. I wanted something that could showcase that more physical appearance and played into the vibe of being overtly masculine, like how Salazzle was overtly feminine. And so I came up with this guy. I really dig the process that went into making this. The idea going in is so easy to capture that, oh, this is just kind of the partner, the husband, the boyfriend, the whatever to Salazzle. But instead, I wanted to ensure that Salazzle still felt like the boss, that Salazzle still felt like the big character of this line. And this one is just kind of a consolation prize that you get for evolving the male one as well. Salazzle's still the star of the show, but you can't get very far without your backup dancers. So I give you Salazzle.
Salazzle, the toxic lizard Pokemon. This Pokemon poisons those around it with a toxic gas that exudes from its pores. Those who breathe in this gas become fearful, and typically choose to follow under the command of this Pokemon rather than continue fighting it.
My favorite part was trying to figure out what to do with the markings of the Pokemon that originally were meant to accentuate the feminine features. But here, I went with something that I hope brings in more of that beefy, macho, musclehead type of feel. So I went with a tribal tattoo type of pattern, which I feel really adds into this Pokemon's whole demeanor.
I mean, I don't know if it's too late to change the rules. Like, I mean, it's not a full art. Do we count it? Barbarical! Oh! Wow! Talonflame! A full art Talonflame! I dig that. Again, I'm not looking up the prices right now. I haven't looked at anything insane. All I know is that gold Zygarde's the one that people are going after, but... Ooh, this is gonna be a fun one to draw though, and very much worth it with the full art on there.
And worth it was. Oh, I decided that with Legend ZA reintroducing the world to Megas, and Talonflame being a resident of Kalos and not receiving one, this was a perfect opportunity to right some wrongs and give this bird some much-deserved love. Only thing is that I was actually never a huge fan of this Pokemon's design. I didn't like that it had actual, not actual flames as a pattern on its skin, or feathers. It felt like it wasn't pushed far enough, and that the flame paint job was a last-ditch point of, oh yeah, it could be a fire type. And so when looking to fix this with a Mega, my first stop was in looking at turning these semblances of flame into actual flame. I do also like the use of black throughout and thought that this could be a real fun combination of both flame and smoke, like a phoenix mid-rebirth, pulling fire and ash from the dust and smoke to create a Pokemon that was a living smolder. So here's Mega Talonflame.
Mega Talonflame, the Scorching Pokemon. This Pokemon is in a constant state of rebirth, and can be seen as a spectacle of life and death, living side by side within an ever-expanding flame. Its fiery power is only second to its tremendous speed, as it soars through the battlefield leaving a trail of smoke in its wake.
Now this I like. I feel like it gives purpose to the flame texture, and bringing in that white not only gives us a shake up to the Mega form, but also allows for that white hot type of feel. The gradient goes from white to red to a smoky black and tells a story. Now, back to the horror story that is me undertaking this challenge.
Look at that. Ooh, buddy. Oh, so pretty. Set that right there, right by Dedenne. Right by Dedenne. Right by my good friend Dedenne. Eradicate, Fletchinder, Sailfoss. Ah, it's Naveen! Oh, I don't have this. Ooh, that's going right in the collection. For those of you guys who don't know, I collect trainer full arts. Why? Because no one else seems to care about them, but I do, and I love them so much. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. I don't know. Cut to the video. All right, so we got a couple there. We got our Dedenne, we got our Talonflame, and we have our Naveen, and then we have a couple EXs that I'm sure I've tortured myself on drawing as well. But right now we got those 3 full arts, and buddy, that is sending me, oh buddy. Let's take a look. There's a code for you. Throw that to the front. Dugong. Esper! Get out of here, Rock Energy. Esper. Ooh, we're getting a lot of little babies. We're getting so many little babies. Look at that. He's sitting at a desk. He's on the other end of the desk. Whoever is working at this desk is looking over at their sweepy little Esper down on the ground as they talk to their Discord kittens. Oh, man. Oh, let's hop into it. Let's look at that, I don't know, regional Esper or whatever we end up doing. Another situation that I had completely not accounted for. Non-evolved Pokemon. So I had a choice to make. Focus on the pre-evolved form of Meowstic, a Pokemon that had just got a Mega and so kind of throws that out of the water, or look at a regional form, wherein I'd probably have to make a regional evolution as well, and with us already hitting like 4 designs that we had to do while not even being halfway through the box, I did not want to do that, so I kind of met in the middle. What if instead of evolving into the Psychic type Meowstic, Esper, when given a hold item, evolved into something else? I always really liked how Gloom actually lost a typing when evolving into Blossom. It was an interesting give and take for the new form, and so I wanted to go with something similar here. But instead of losing a typing, it would swap completely. Kind of more so akin to Scyther into Scizor or Cleaver. So I went with taking that messy mop of hair and turning it into this gorgeous flowing dew. One that brings in that softer and more elegant fairy typing. This moves us from a focus on its untrained psychic elements instead into its grayish and slightly off-putting elements into a delicate beauty. Think about it on the idea of it being untrained, not knowing what to do with its psychic power as an Esper, and Meowstic being a show that it's able to better handle that psychic energy. I instead wanted to look at Esper as this unkept, messy, matted fur type of design that then turns into something that is better kept, well endured, and just a lovely design. So I give you Onespur.
Onespur, the quaint Pokemon. These Pokemon can be quite vain, as they will spend countless hours focused on ensuring that their hair is soft and manageable. While they are very protective of their looks, their hair has been sold as high-quality wigs, but it's of no concern to the Pokemon, as they can use their mystical powers to quickly regrow it back in an instant.
The quaint Pokemon species means attractively unusual, and also fits with Esper as the restraint Pokemon, and Meowstic as the constraint Pokemon, now with a different evolution into the quaint Pokemon. Much like how I'll be restraining myself from calling it quits and moving back on with that Yu-Gi-Oh video that I was planning before Perfect Order released.
So many little babies, so many little babies, so many little babies that we've been getting on those full arts. Give me something big, give me something beefy, give me a monster. Naveen! Telepathic energy, very cool. Crushing Hammer and Meowth EX again. Okay, another thing that I didn't account for was running into doubles. Last Ditch Catch and Tuck Tail. Yeah, another thing that I just did not account for. I don't know what we're doing with that. Good luck, future me!
Thanks, past me. Really? Thanks. Well, I do suppose this was my excuse for coming up with an evolution to our Meowth from before. So, being that we went from an Ice-type Meowth focused on long-haired Tibetan cats, the only other place to go was with the Palace Cat. They are absolutely adorable, and known for their round bodies. I'd already infused a little snowman energy into our Prevo, so why not go full-blown snowman in this look? I decided to stay closer to Persian because I wanted a quadruped, but also because I'd already said that I'd base the original on Persian cats, so it all kind of felt like it fit. I mean, if Cantonian Persian can be called that while being based on a mountain lion, then I could do the same, but in reverse. I'm getting lost. There were, and will continue to be so many more Pokemon for this video. So here's Sternian Persian.
Persian, the classy cat Pokemon. These Pokemon are known for their fur, which is always cool to the touch. Their round outer appearance hides a body of pure muscle, as they can typically be spotted rolling snowballs like balls of yarn, tossing them into their tails and hurling them at great speed.
I threw in a little saber-toothed tiger just to liven up the vibe, and I must say, I dig this design. It's kind of a shame I'll have to throw it onto the Ko-fi with the rest of these guys. By the way, after most videos I do end up putting these designs for sale over there, so maybe check it out. The link's in the description and should also be somewhere on the screen. It's like a little game of hide and seek. Try to find that card.
All right, let's keep up the good work. We're pulling from the back. We're doing what we must. Rosa's Encouragement. There's a full art of her. I think there's 2 full arts of that card that I would love to get. Aegislash, Rosa's Encouragement. That's not the one I want. Hone Edge on the back. Decidueye EX. I'm pretty sure I have this art already. But that doesn't change the rules, does it now? That does not change the rules. Oh, such a complicated design that we're gonna have to do something. Ooh, I have an idea, Mr. Krabs. Oh, the madness, but I do have an idea. See, a lot of starters have already gotten Megas. Venusaur, Blastoise, Charizard, Delphox, Chestnut, Greninja, Charizard again! So why not look at what Alola can bring to the table by expanding on that ghostly energy that Decidueye has become so known for? When I played Sun and Moon, Rowlet was my starter of choice, and I fell so in love with it that I picked him again in the Ultra games. Yeah, even when the games were kind of re-released and revamped and you had the chance to pick something else and see what stories you could do then, I still went with my Rowlet. That Spirit Shackle was my bread and butter, and so I wanted to make that attack a key feature of this look. I used Greninja as an example of what a Mega so heavily inspired on their weaponry might look like, and decided to make this giant shadowy arrow a key feature of the design. I also toned down the colors to be much more dark energy compliant and extended that Robin Hood look into the hat just a little bit more. I really only gave myself about 30 minutes per design on these guys, so I'd love to revisit and see how we could further expand the concept in the future video. But that's kind of all on you guys, sorry. But if you like the video, the best way to let me know is by liking the video, and subscribe to know when more bizarre content like this goes live. I've got a fossil video that just dropped that I am absolutely gaga over right now. I mean, it's my video and I've watched it 4 or 5 times. But enough about ancient avian species. Let's get back to this ancient avian species. So here's Mega Decidueye.
Mega Decidueye, the Arrow Quill Pokemon. Dark energy emits from this Pokemon, as it's capable of turning its sharpened feathers into arrows brimming with ghostly aura. The flower on its back functions as a door to another dimension, where it is able to manifest these arrows from, and its aim is legendary in old stories.
This was such a fun concept in getting to go a little darker when starters are typically seen as much more friendly, and carry a vibe of overall happiness and protagonistic quality. This design, I wanted something that really struck that dark archer or ranger in D&D type of trope, and I feel like I succeeded, though I would love to revisit this idea and see what we could do if given just a... It was about here that I began to realize the depth of the hole that I'd found myself in. We had been getting hit after hit after hit, and while that is often a good thing, here, a typical video that I do has 6, 7 Pokemon in it. Suddenly, we were nearing the double digits, and I had to renegotiate the rules. So rather than focus on every single hit, I'd look at just the full arts, and put the full video of me doing rips from the box as a members only and Patreon exclusive. And trust me, there is a lot going on in the full 30-minute video, so we were now focusing on just the full arts, the SIRs, and the like. Surely this would make things easier, right? Right?
Throw that on our EX pile over there. Let's keep this side front really pulled me a good one. Starmie. Mega Starmie, everyone's favorite. Another baby. Get Landorus out of here. Another baby. We're getting so many little guys. We got Esper, we got Dedenne, we got Spoopa. We got a little Spoopa. It's a mid-stage. What are we gonna do with that?
Clearly, I'm not doing well, and I think Spupa as a Pokemon to redo, revisit, and redefine was something of a breaking point for old Sterny boy. I mean, it was every problem that we'd already faced rolled into one. A middle stage for a Pokemon that hadn't seen a ton of appearance in modern games. No Gmax, no Mega, no regional variants for me to reference for patterns, and so I began to break down. I began to break down the design. So, you know what? Go big or go home. I decided that if Butterfree could have a Gmax form, then its Colossian clone could too. I thought about what Vivillon is, and how its key gimmick is being seen, being hunted, being captured for the different patterns and designs that it has across its varying setup of wings, both seen and not seen. So what if Gmax Vivillon didn't just hover over the battlefield, but became the battlefield? What if it went into a hologram display of the sky itself, domed its wings to encapsulate the entire area? It's a butterfly that loves sunny days, and it's gonna give you one whether you want it to or not. I just thought it was a really cool mechanic to see Gmax kind of change the entire battlefield, and with a Pokemon like this, the idea that it's changing the battlefield in a way that it sees fit rather than just what Gmax does to the world seemed really interesting and something I was really excited to play with. So here's Gmax Vivillon.
Vivillon, the scale Pokemon. This form went broadly unnoticed for years, as many believed that the Pokemon could not or would not attain Gmaxification. But truly, it was merely mimicking the sky by using its wings as a giant screen. Storm clouds, sunny days, and environmental disasters all played on this Pokemon's wide wings, leading many into panic.
Who was your favorite? Who are you adding onto the team? Let me know down in the comments below. And hey, before you get all the way down there, consider stopping by the description where you can find various opportunities to support the channel. For example, I recently uploaded a new setup on our Patreon that allows for you to get 1 full year of support in a single purchase with tremendous discount. That gets you your name in the credits, as well as access to videos early and Photoshop files for these videos. Or you could go over to our channel and become a YouTube member. For just $5 a month, you'll get that early access, your name in the credits, as well as access to exclusive members only discussions on upcoming videos, different guests for podcasts, all sorts of the weird machinations that find themselves being created within my mind. So with all of that said, it does sound like you know where to find me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yo, he's the Sterninator, commission terminator, it's beautiful work. I'm choked up like Darth Vader. If you hating on my man, you not a smart hater. He'll draw anything from Digital Circus to Arc Raiders. Poppy's Playtime, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Five Nights at Freddy's Shoot. He drew the whole team. His blends of Pokemon with loads of franchises. If you listening to this, guess you know where to find him.